Hello everyone, this is Wilson. Welcome back to my 1 minute presentation. Today I'm going to talk about the terms called load shedding, which is related to some power generation problems and load demand problems. So let's get started. So what is load shedding? So load shedding is that when a company cannot generate enough electricity, so that they will try to shade the load by not supplying the electricity to certain parts of its grid or city. So this measure is usually the last measure to balance the demand and supply of the electricity, because some of the users may not have electricity during the load shedding. So usually the power company may have some backup generator and some backup batteries. If these two things are also broken or damaged or failed, load shedding will be the last measure to balance the supply and demand. So why does the load shedding occur? So there may have three reasons that the load shedding will occur. So the first one is that equipment failed. So in the electricity company, they will have few, maybe three generation generator set. So if one of the generator failed, so they may cannot meet the demand side. So the electricity company may use the load shedding to balance the electricity in the city. So the second one is that the transmission line may be damaged, maybe due to the natural disaster. So some of the electricity cannot supply to the city. So load shedding may be occurred in this time as well. So and also the last things. So you guys know climate change can make many natural disaster or some extreme weather, such as heat wave. So the heat wave may cause a high levels of power consumption by the customers, because when the customers feels hot inside of his home, they will try to open the air conditioning. So when everyone try to open the conditioning system, the power consumption will be rise very rapidly. So the power company cannot meet the increased electricity consumption. Load shedding may be occurred in this time as well. So let's take a very simple example. So let's assume there is a heat wave coming to this city. So the heat wave will make three of the owners feels very hot and they try to open their air conditioning system. So normally the 10 gigawatts power generation can satisfy three of the users. But however, when three users try to open all of their HVAC system, the power company cannot produce enough power, cannot produce enough electricity for these three families. So the 10 gigawatts power generation cannot satisfy the 12 gigawatts demand. So the power company can use the load shedding to balance the load and supplies. So how can it achieve? So when the time is 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock, they try to cut off the power of the first family, so that the 10 gigawatt can supply to these two family only, so they can meet the power generation. So 10 gigawatt can fulfill the 8 gigawatt power consumption. So after 2 p.m. So let's say 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So it will start to cut down this family's electricity and turn on the electricity and supply the electricity to the first family again. So in 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock, the first family and the third family can enjoy electricity, but the second family will cut off their electricity, so they do not have the electricity, so on. So this is how load shedding works. So this is the end of my presentation. I would say this presentation is not do it very well. So if you're interested more about the load shedding terms, I would place 2 links in the description so you can take a look at it and you will have a better understanding what is load shedding. So I'm sorry for my bad presentation today. So thank you.